Oilers, you got a great offense with Connor McDavid. So I have them sweeping them.
Yeah, well, I don't think you heard my point. The San Francisco Giants have 3 more in the 2010s than the Rangers have in their entire history. So, yeah.
It's hard to get back and to get back-to-back wins, and I don't see the Lightning doing it here, so I have them losing to the Hurricanes in 6.
We don't talk about the 2010s because the 2010s had the Astros, and if the Astros didn't happen, the Yankees would have won in 2017 with the Dodgers.
He was close to Frank Reich, and they want Frank Reich back, so that's what they got. It's their discount Frank Reich.
Kaprizov and the rest of this crew, Jordan Greenway, who doesn't get enough props. He definitely is somebody who needs to be mentioned more.
Hi, this is Julie Dobbs. You're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. This is something that has been sort of expected, given just what happened after the first year with Davante Adams, but the man that had his team where Davante Adams was drafted and rose to prominence, Austin.
Yeah. I kind of thought he was going to be traded before the season. I know he hadn't formally requested one, but it was obvious that he didn't want to be there after the end of last season. He was discussing potential requesting trades last season as well. It's kind of chaotic. What's interesting to me is I don't think it's win-based, like winning games. They're 2-2, and while they haven't been necessarily impressive wins or against the greatest teams in the world, I guess I did beat the Ravens, but last game against the Browns I did not. It's obvious that they're not the worst team in the league. I just feel like he has a certain set of requirements for playing for any team, no matter if they're winning or not. I don't know necessarily how much he cares about truly winning. And I think he is better whenever he has a quarterback that he's more familiar with throwing him the ball.
Yeah, to me, with the Raiders right now, it's because he doesn't know the quarterback situation, probably isn't a fan of the quarterback situation. It's Gardner Minshew is not a bad quarterback. It's just not a guy where he's really going to give the best balls to Davante Adams, and we can go into the preferences. It makes sense why the Jets are listed and the Saints are listed because that's where Derek Carr is. And to me, that was the main reason he came to the Raiders was Derek Carr, and they also paid him the most money. So to me, that is basically what leads his decision. I do think there are other dark horses. But the key is a solid quarterback and there's a consistency with that quarterback.
Yeah, there are a couple teams I could see him be traded to other than the the Jets and the Saints. Are there any teams that you want to mention right now?
I'll mention a team not. People have talked about the Chiefs. I don't see the Raiders giving, no matter, it'd have to be a huge overpay. I don't see the Raiders trading Davante Adams to the Chiefs.
I completely agree. I don't see that happening. It's too trading within your division. It's something that a lot of people scoff at. Trading with a team in your division that is perennially good is a no-no. I think they would be universally looked at like a joke if they did that.
Yeah, and it's just to me, that is a huge rivalry between the Raiders and Chiefs, and they just wouldn't want to do it. Even if it is the best deal, they wouldn't want to do that. They may even try to get him to the NFC, which would favor the Saints. But the Jets, it looks like the compensation is not that bad for Davante Adams. A second-round pick, third-round pick. To me, if I'm a competing team, that would be a great addition.
Yeah, I completely agree in the right circumstances that it would be a great addition for plenty of teams. I'm interested to see what the offers look like. I'm sure we'll hear what the offers have been after a couple days or something close to it. I know those always get leaked pretty often. I am interested to see if they end up including another team in the trade or if something else happens to where they're trading more players than just Davante. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it might. And I do think a team that I'm extremely I would be interested to see if they would make a move, or the Rams. Matthew Stafford is getting older. Their team is struggling recently, but that's more because they have no wide receivers at all. Uh, Stafford's a quarterback that's been around the league forever, and when they become fully healthy, Davante Adams, Puka, and Cooper Kupp may be the greatest wide receiver trio of all time.
Yeah, that is. To me, I thought of the Rams. They're a team that likes to go all in. I could see them doing an overpay, and the obvious answers are probably Jets and Saints. Even though it'd be weird because you have Garrett Wilson, the Jets would be sacrificing their future. I think um, if
I don't
it
know
would
because
work.
to have Rodgers is to sacrifice your future.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. The Saints, they're a weird team. If I'm Devontae, I would consider I'd be wary of the Saints because it looked like the Raiders had a steady future with Derek Carr, and that seems to be the same thing with the Saints, but that quickly changed, and this kind of led to what he is in now. Another team I'm interested in is the Atlanta Falcons.
That would be interesting. I don't know necessarily. They haven't been making many offensive minded decisions anywhere near recently. Maybe that changes uh, as we move on. But I am interested to see if the what teams will decide to buy. There's a lot of teams that are not buy happy, but need to make a move. Another team I think would be extremely interesting is the Cardinals. The Cardinals already have Marvin Harrison, and after that, it kind of falls off a cliff. Trey McBride's been hurt. If they could add a guy like Devontae, I think that would be it'd be very reminiscent of DeAndre Hopkins going. So that's why I say it seems like something that they would do, especially if they feel like this is a year that they could win.
Yeah, I agree. It's looking at it, Davante Adams is still a top wide receiver, but it's tough. Where does this fit? Because you also have to include where they're at now. You would assume Davante wants to go winning place, and just with a quarterback. My thing would be, I do like the your option with the Cardinals. Um, yeah, the D Hop is a great example. I'm wondering about the Bills because they're a team that needs a wide receiver as much as I would say, disagree with that. Given their issues, I think we could see them making a trade for Davante
I,
Adams.
I, I think the morale is a little bit too good at the moment. I
Okay.
don't think they would make a trade. Recently, it's been extremely good morales, and they I think they know kind of what precedes Adams, and he can be a little bit chaotic at times. And I don't know if they want to jeopardize what they've done already for the for this season. We'll see, obviously, but I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen.
Got it. Another team that I think should be considering it, but they're not because they have questionable GM is the Cowboys. They do have cap room, and Devontae would elevate that core immediately with CD, but it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't think that the Cowboys are the team that makes the move.
Yeah, I think they're a team that should consider it, but it's really tough. I'm trying to think because the teams that I look at, if you look at a team that's trying to win now, Vikings, they're pretty set at wide receiver. Same thing with the Niners. Same thing with the Seahawks. Um, I'm trying to. Another team that needs wide receivers, but I don't see happening, is the Ravens because Devontae wouldn't really fit in that system. They're most of the time a run team, and to me, Devontae would be like, no, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, but does he have the choice? He doesn't have a no trade clause, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I do think if you're the Ravens, if you add someone like Devontae, if you're someone like the Ravens, you do add Devontae, you would change up that offense, and that would immediately become, I would say, a balanced offense and pretty deadly one.
Yeah, uh, I can agree with that. Who do you think he'll go to? Let's make a final prediction here. Where does Davante Adams land?
Man, that's a good one. I feel like the Jets, just given the Rodgers almost GM like he has ability with the Jets make a trade for Davante.
Okay, I completely agree. I do think that the Jets are the team to do it, and I think last week's a big reason why. They lost in embarrassing fashion against a team that only threw for 60 yards. They need to prove that they are good enough to win a title, and to do that, you may need to make a couple big moves. And I think this is the one that could really push them over the top, or at least that's how they feel about it. So, um, yeah, I think that's a fair prediction and one that I will concur with.
Yeah, I will add that it would be great if I do think they keep Garrett Wilson. I think it'd be great for Garrett Wilson to learn from Davante Adams, just as long as they don't give up too much. But we'll have to see. I'll let you close this one out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know, what do you think about Davante Adams? Do you think he'll be traded to the Jets or any other team? And what will be the package for him? Thank you again.